Hi YouTubers, welcome to another episode of A Verse a Week a Year, Part 9. Today we're looking at a verse which comes from the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 20. These are the words of Joseph. Remember one of the 12 brothers, Jacob's children, the one who was sold into slavery in Egypt, the one with the Technicolor Dreamcoat. This is what he said. You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to save many people alive. Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. Just like to say a few words about that verse. People often look at tragedies that happen or travesties of justice, and they say, how could God let that happen? And this verse tells us a lot about situations like that. So first of all, there were people doing the wrong thing. Joseph's 11 brothers, they wanted to get rid of him, so they sold him in slavery. So Joseph said to them, when he was raised up to the position of second in command in Egypt, he said to them, you meant evil against me. But it doesn't stop there, because he said that, but God meant it for good. So did God mean that Joseph should have been sold into slavery? Yes, he did. It was part of his plan. And what was the result of that? Well, we know from the biblical story that that whole region around Egypt and Canaan, they were in the middle of a 7-year famine. It was really bad. And Joseph had been storing grain in Egypt for 7 good years. And then during the 7 bad years, he sold grain to all the surrounding nations. So it was at that time that the brothers came to Egypt to buy grain. And it was there that Joseph revealed himself to them. So when you see evil events that happen in the world, evil events that even happen to believers, know this, that God meant it to happen for good. And it's only with hindsight, I think only really when we're sitting at the judgment seat of Christ, that we'll realize, wow, those things that happen, God was actually using those things for a good final result. So you have to trust God. He's doing the best, even though it seems that maybe he was doing the wrong thing or allowing evil to happen. Don't blame Satan. God is in control. But all things that happen worked for his glory. They worked for the best result. Well, have a good day. GoPro, stop recording.